Hello and welcome to Module 4. This module covers toxicology and environmental health, as well as water resources. The field of environmental toxicology is critical for understanding how the thousands of chemical substances we use affect the environment and our health. Chapter 10 covers types of environmental toxicants, how toxicants affect humans and wildlife, and how toxic substances are tested and regulated. Chapter 12 covers key features of freshwater and marine ecosystems, the availability and use of water resources, types of water pollution, and wastewater treatment. Water is essential for all life on Earth, and in particular, freshwater resources are critical for terrestrial ecosystems and human activities, and yet we tend to take water for granted, especially in water-rich areas like the one we live in. For the discussion forum, you will learn about two different issues that show the connection between toxicology and our water resources. So have you ever thought about what happens to all the stuff you use on your body? Shampoo, soap, hair gel, deodorant, makeup, sunscreen, cologne, the list goes on. So when you take a shower at the end of the day, all of the products you use are washed down the drain and go into the water cycle, and many personal care products are not thoroughly tested for safety. And after learning about greenwashing in Module 3, I hope you know now that sometimes things are not what they appear to be. To learn more about how the products you use affect you, as well as water quality when those products are washed down the drain, you will be investigating something very close to home, your own personal care products. After watching a couple of fun videos from the Story of Stuff project, you will evaluate some ingredients in products you use and determine whether or not there is a safer alternative on the market. For example, I really love this face peel from the Real Chemistry brand, and it sounds all sciencey and effective, and while it may do its job to exfoliate my face and leave it feeling awesome, it does contain formaldehyde. Yep, the chemical they use to preserve dead bodies. So I'm not so sure I want that on my face now. So maybe a better alternative would be this face scrub using volcanic clay as an exfoliant. No formaldehyde here. So you will also read an article and watch a video about Toms River, a small New Jersey town that, as a result of the aniline dye industry, experienced serious water contamination issues that were kept secret for decades and resulted in a documented cancer cluster mostly affecting young girls. The author Dan Fagan wrote a great book about Toms River, called Toms River. If you're interested in learning more about epidemiology, cancer clusters, and public health. So in Toms River, the Ciba-Geigy chemical plant disposed of contaminated wastewater from the dye manufacturing process in unlined waste pits on the company property. Unfortunately, the soils in the area were very permeable, allowing these contaminants to leach into the groundwater quickly. This, combined with illegal dumping of wastes in other areas, led to serious groundwater contamination, which affected the municipal wells that supplied the whole town with drinking water. Hopefully through cases like this, we can learn from our past mistakes in order to prevent future tragedies. And if you've ever heard of the consumer advocate Erin Brockovich and the famous case of groundwater contamination and a related cancer cluster in the small town of Hinckley, California, you might find it eerily similar to the story of Toms River. In this case, the groundwater contamination was the result of storing 370 million gallons of wastewater contaminated with chromium-6, a likely human carcinogen, into unlined wastewater ponds. The story was made into a movie starring Julia Roberts in 2000, and it is actually thought to be a fair representation of the real events of the case. I've posted two fun clips from the movie on the Fun page showing Erin Brockovich, played by Julia Roberts, working over some smirking lawyers, although the whole movie is definitely worth watching. I hope you enjoy.